Hello, my name is Shanna Bigler, and I'm the School Mental Health Consultant with the Kansas State Department of Education. I just want to take a moment of your time today in response to the mental health crisis we're seeing in societies and our schools. COVID-19 has had an impact on everyone, and some students and staff may be greatly struggling right now. Schools have always helped students as much as possible with mental health needs. Now, however, the need may seem amplified due to the pandemic. Students may be more likely to be suffering from loss, isolation, anxiety, depression, substance use, self-harm such as cutting, and suicide. These challenges do not negate the fact that all students are still entitled to an equal opportunity to learn free from discrimination. In October, the U.S. Department of Education for Civil Rights and the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights published a fact sheet that is extremely informative and helpful for all school administrators. They provide a response and recognition to the concern for student mental wellness and addresses the legal aspects of school responsibility. Please consider taking a few minutes to read this fact sheet. The web address is located on this slide, and it's only a 2-page read. Key ideas from the fact sheet include that schools are required to make decisions about how to respond to students at risk of self-harm or even mental health concerns based on an assessment of each student's circumstances. This means individual student needs need to be considered. This can even occur as part of the normal MTSS process or within SIT team meetings. Second, decisions must not be based on fears, generalizations, or stereotypes about mental illness. This can be hard to keep in mind because mental health concerns tug at the emotions of those who care. Sometimes personal comfort with the situation may not align with what is the right decision for a student. A student with mental health disabilities are provided reasonable modifications to school policies, practices, and procedures as appropriate for the individual student. Therefore, health plans, safety plans, 504 plans, or individual education programs may be needed to support each student. Finally, mental health concerns may likely require a special education or student improvement team evaluation to determine how to best support the student while providing FAPE. Here are some recommendations to provide a supportive environment. Encourage the staff are comfortable with and understand building and district trauma-responsive crisis management procedures. These procedures are best to be written out and reviewed frequently. Ensure staff are trained to look for changes in students, changes in their dress, behavior, personality, their academic performance, demeanor, mood, etc. These may indicate signs of distress or even suicidal ideation. Implementation of a general education support system for social emotional learning is vital. This would be your Tier 1 general ed intervention. Implementation of a tiered mental health support system for Tiers 2 and 3 are also very important. Formal and clearly defined school mental health team is vital to success. Professionals that understand what they're looking for and are able to help assess the situation. Implement clear evaluation protocols and communication for evaluation referrals. Ensure all academic staff and other staff that may have concerns know how to express and communicate this. Intentionally examine discipline procedures or other potential barriers to supporting students with mental health needs. And finally, be mindful of your staff mental wellness. Secondary trauma, compassion fatigue, vicarious trauma, all of these are very real and can impact teachers and other educators. While supporting students through meaningful plans, please be mindful of confidentiality and FERPA. Options for formal plans are dictated by individual need, and they may include health plans, safety plans, Section 504 plans, or individual education programs, IEPs. Carefully consider the setting and placement. Socially supportive, non-isolating settings are often best and least restrictive. Work as a team with the student and family. Invite private therapists, doctors, and our community resources as appropriate. Be sure to obtain the releases of information proactively. Do not dismiss or underestimate a student's expression of distress as normal or expected. Please take it seriously. Here are some strategies that you can definitely implement now. Intentionally provide each student with a purpose for being at school every day. Have a constant support person who can connect with the student and check on their well-being daily. Offer structured time for mindful minutes. You can involve students in fun, social activities with supports as appropriate. Provide students with trusted place and person when feelings are overwhelming and they need a break from the space. Work with school or community mental health providers to consult on supportive classroom modifications. Intentionally create open lines of communication between home and school that's full of trust. And insert moments of playfulness and joy into the school day. Laughter really can be the best medicine. There are also very specific examples and practices of things that schools should avoid. Requiring a community-based mental health evaluation for a child to attend school, for example, coming back from a suspension, is something to avoid. Please avoid policies that require medical or psychiatric releases for children to return to school after being absent due to mental health issues. Law enforcement intervention for mental health concerns in place of involving mental health professionals is never recommended. Advocating for alternative placement such as homeschool, virtual learning, etc., based on the school's fears or generalizations, stereotypes, or perceived knowledge of supports is not okay. It has to be a team decision for placement. Be sensitive to sarcasm as a strategy of inserting humor. Family support is another aspect to consider. Be empathetic to parents' emotions. They don't have the answers either. Ensure parents understand the role that access to weapons and medication plays in suicide. Example, suggest lock boxes for guns, medication, knives. Ensure that parents feel seen and heard. Involve them in creating a plan for their child. And consider really bolstering the feelings of connectedness with other families that have the same struggles. Please remember, legal protection applies for both general education students and students receiving special education services. There are federal laws that protect students from discrimination based on disability. This includes mental health issues. Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1972, as well as the Americans with Disabilities Act. The Office of Civil Rights and the U.S. Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division enforce these laws. Further, there are federal and state laws that provide additional protections to children with special education services. This includes the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, and the Kansas Special Education for Exceptional Children Act. These require FAPE is provided, that services are in specified settings listed in the IEP that the team decides that are least restrictive environments with supplementary aids and services, and that the environment is based on the individual need of the student, not the need of the school or staff. That full educational opportunity is provided with a variety of educational programs and services as it is to all other students. Parents of students with mental health concerns have rights to challenge decisions of school districts through the Office of Civil Rights. They also have the right to challenge decisions of school districts and IEP teams through the Kansas State Department of Education in due process hearing. No single idea, profession, or individual is a solution. Now, more than ever before, the concept of it taking a village to raise a child is applicable. Everyone can help recognize and help children with mental health needs, and no one has all the answers. Be aware of and utilize community experts and resources. There are a list of them attached to this slide, and if you need more, then contact your local community mental health center. Here's my contact information. I want to be of help to you as much as possible. Please feel free to reach out. Thank you.